go live first, and then you click the titles. Which titles do we want this week?
Well, we're already live at this point. So
how about the Batman ones?
We haven't got Batman. We should have Batman one though.
Maybe we should ask in the comments. Hello.
Greetings.
Good evening and welcome to Let's Mostly Talk About Trek.
Where's Carl then?
Attending to other matters.
Oh.
White Walkers, I should think.
Public execution today, you said?
Public execution.
Oh, that sounds fun.
That's one area of pornography I've never delved into.
Yeah.
Does he prefer the bullet, the poison, the rope, the electric chair,
Not sure.
the guillotine?
I believe he just sits people in front of Discovery and makes them watch it until.
Or this week's episode of Strange New Worlds. I mean,
Well, hang on.
well, this is
take issue with
interesting.
that. Brilliant.
Let's calm down and let's not hastily talk about Star Trek. First of all, we need to know: has anyone watched? Well, we've had 2 episodes of Strange New Worlds this week. This is the thing. Episode 6, and then unexpectedly, episode 7 has landed as well.
Yes, I've watched episode 7 because everyone was going on about it, but I think I'm yet to see 6 and 5. I'm trying to catch up.
So I've watched 6, but I didn't watch 7 because I figured no one else would have watched it. Right. Well, Dan has probably not watched any of them, so let's recap on Strange New Worlds.
Look at this. Look. Oh, I'm a Klingon. Look.
Let's recap. Well, what Star Trek can we talk about? Okay, so Strange New Worlds episode 6. Sadly,
This one?
what you got there?
It's a book, The Art of Juan Ortiz. So if I were to pick a page at random, these are posters that have been made for the individual episodes.
Oh, I see.
Given to me as a gift.
Just as you would find in sort of like a writer's room or
Yes.
on the studio sort of billboard.
Pick an episode and I'll find you the poster if you'd like.
Oh, let's do that.
Yeah, I'd like to see the one for the TNG episode Lower Decks, please.
Lower Decks. Right, let's see if I can find it.
Don't say it like a South African, you'll get into trouble.
Which season is Lower Decks?
6, I think. Could be 5.
Right, keep talking, I'll find it.
Yes, so episode 6 of Strange New Worlds, without spoilers. It immediately lost points for having Carol Kane deliver some lines that you couldn't understand in it. It was very Uhura focused. I'm sorry, I can't remember. I didn't read to check later. I can't remember the actress that's playing Uhura now. But as much as she's a great side character, she's not a lead. She was so weak in this episode. She really did it. It was a difficult episode to sell anyway, but her acting is just not on the same par as the other characters in the show, which is a shame because she's very likable. She's kind of like the Tilly. It's just no, because she's likable, so she's not like Tilly. But yeah, her acting simply isn't good enough to pull an episode off on her. I'm afraid it's a bit of a difficult one, but hey. There you go. It wasn't a great episode to... and again, it wasn't... That's the thing. It wasn't a bad episode, it just wasn't a great episode, and that's the problem when you've got a series that's running so high.
It was season 10.
It's difficult to sort of say, I can't slag it off. I did not enjoy it, but it's not reaching the expectation that the episodes have set it up as. Here we are. Right. Okay.
So season 7. Here we go. Lower
really?
Decks.
That's the poster for Lower Decks.
Yes.
What's that meant to signify then?
Well, she was a prisoner, wasn't she, at the end?
That's tenuous at best. That's. Is it not signifying Picard having his hands tied and sending her off to her death? That would be better.
Well, maybe you can interpret it that way.
I'm choosing to interpret it that way, yes.
Excellent. All right.
I believe you can interpret it any way you want.
Yes.
So Richard has interpreted episode 6 for us, and I can't interpret that because I've not seen it.
Well, Martin liked it, so I liked it too. This is the thing, I did like it, but it's just not it's not the same standard as what we come to expect. That's wonderful. I don't like Lower Decks, so.
Don't you?
I don't.
Musical episode next week of
Strange
Trek,
World.
are we?
No, there's a trailer for it at
no.
the end of this week's.
I had to turn it over within the first 5 minutes. My doggy was really scared by a scene and tried to save me by barking and launching at the telly. And then your dog, I think you should seek some help for your dog. Please get in touch with the show and we'll put you in touch with some professionals that can help with that. Trading it for a cat would seem to be a good idea.
Oh, Billy.
Really? Cats are rubbish.
Yes, but you also don't cry when they get run over. You just regret cutting that massive hole in your door for a cat flap.
Anyway, so that's episode 6 then.
So that's spoiler-free episode 6.
Martin in the comments is saying that episode 7, this is the crossover episode, was dropped because SDCC, that's San Diego Comic-Con, dropped it at the con. So they obviously showed it early, and then
so they felt they could give it to the rest of us. But
presumably it's all out there. So
I'd just like to do a new segment here, which I'm going to call "Poking the Finger."
Oh, does it have a sting?
I'm poking the finger at you, Paramount Plus. I'm absolutely fed up with your app being utter garbage in the UK and just not working. And so I cancelled that and then took it out on Amazon Prime instead. And now you've also reduced the frame rate and the stereo, the sound on Amazon Prime. So if you subscribe to Amazon Prime and you're expecting to get nice Dolby surround sound for Strange New Worlds, forget it. They've actually cut back on it, presumably to stop people doing it for Amazon and not doing it through their crap app. Some people might say you're better off actually illegally downloading it so you can have it in the full resolution and sound. Some people might suggest you do that,
would we?
If that's the only way that you can get it, that would be a terrible shame, but I would feel that the studios only have themselves to blame, to be perfectly frank. It's a disgrace. But there we are. That's pointing the finger at you, Paramount.
Yes.
That's very similar. Do you remember we used to do Richard Rants?
Did that have a sting?
It did. I think it was just a picture of me with like smoke coming out of my ears. I was browsing through stuff I thought we could do from the archives. Do you remember we used to do the Steve Gutenberg update?
I think we should revisit it. Well, bearing in mind, since we last did the Steve Gutenberg update, they have announced a Starfleet Academy series. You know, Steve Gutenberg is the obvious commandant.
Well, I'm sure we've had this discussion.
There are many reasons why he should be the commandant of Starfleet Academy.
I feel we should revisit it. Do we want Starfleet Academy to be a serious show, or do we actually want it to be like Police Academy? Because I think either way, I'm happy. I really.
Although we're probably not allowed to have a lot of the 80s humour anymore.
Why not? Oh, because of all the racism and sexism. Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. No.
I believe at the moment the world is too woke for to be.
I'm not. I can enjoy a joke without getting upset and having to go see a therapist.
So
what are you chaps up to then? How's everyone's weekend been? And how can you segue some Trek into it?
I did watch some Star Trek.
Did you?
Yeah, and like I said, I've just seen the Lower Decks episodes. Strange New Worlds episode 7.
Okay. I've been horrendously busy.
I've managed to watch some TV.
I've been horrendously busy with many, many family commitments, but but luckily we're going out Saturday night, is it?
Saturday, yes, we're off to a concert, aren't we?
We're off to a concert on Saturday night to see Hans Zimmer recital at the Turner Contemporary Art Museum in Margate.
Which is an art being used for something worthwhile.
Yes, I was saying to James, I'm really looking forward to actually going to the Turner Centre on Margate Seafront and not have to stare at a poorly drawn woman's vagina, which is what you normally have to do if you visit the Turner Gallery in Margate. It's not that I'm saying you shouldn't come to Margate and visit it, but yeah, that's all you're going to see.
But they do occasionally have a John Turner available, but it's usually buried in a corner somewhere.
Behind all the
Margate and admire the sunsets. That's, of course, what led to Turner settling here and doing so many of his beautiful paintings.
Yeah, it's quite ironic, really, that they built that god awful art gallery on the seafront and just display a load of old codswallop in it and not decent pictures of sunsets.
Yes. Yeah, actually, I went there the other week because it was raining and it was therefore somewhere I could go for free that I could be dry. And there's a lift the size of my old flat that you can go up and down in, which entertained Jacob and I for a good 10 minutes.
I went there recently and bought a cactus.
Why did you buy a cactus from an art gallery?
They were selling cactuses. No, cacti? Cactuses?
Depends if it derives from the Greek or the Latin, I think.
Well, they were selling plants, and a cactus was cactus was your cheapest plant, so got a cactus from your son. He called it Spike.
Right, I guess he got the point then.
I hope so. He's a sharp lad.
Yeah, he's got spine. Right, Dan, what have you been up to?
Just non-stop, mate. Really haven't stopped. You know, it's everything's just all the time.
There's Riker. There he is. Look, bring him in.
Oh, Hound, your presence is requested. Yeah.
Well, speaking of Riker, did I see a hint from San Diego that XO6 are going to do a William Riker mannequin?
And if it does, will it look like Gary Bushell?
Gosh, that's a name to conjure with. Yeah, because I know Carl's got at least 2 of the XO6s, but they're so pricey that if I were to get one, that would be the one, I think.
Here he is.
Some of them look great, and some of them look not so great, is the weird one.
Hello, Hound.
Speaking of dollies, Richard, perhaps you could show us how you're coming along with Neelix.
Yeah, so we're now 9 to 10 hours into my Neelix paint. This is by far my hardest paint I've done. The amount of layers that has been required for this is astonishing.
Yes, there he is.
And also painting his pupils into slits because he has like cat-like eye slits rather than round pupils has been very difficult.
So apropos of that, actually, I did see something again coming out of San Diego that there's going to be an animated Neelix feature. That, I think, seems to be part of a slew of animated features with various legacy characters. So I think there's going to be a Quark one, a Riker one, Neelix, as I've mentioned, and one or two others.
I don't know much about that, but that sounds exciting. It sounds like this kind of giving it to the jokier, funnier characters. Although really, Neelix started off that way and then turned into someone with PTSD. So,
and also someone who was dating a 3-year-old.
2-year-old.
It's not a look. It's not a good look, is it? Yes. So the
irony of that situation is that the person in the show that he was dating, that in the show was 2, actually got arrested for inappropriate behaviour towards children. So,
I believe, sadly, very sadly, that Jennifer Lien is an inpatient in a mental health unit of some kind.
Yeah, she's wackadoodle. Yeah.
It's very sad that became the case.
Just for public opinion, I've got to do his tunic and undershirt. Should I go for a base green or a base blue? I really can't decide.
What, for the undershirt or the tunic?
For the overshirt, for the tunic.
Well, doesn't he tend to wear sort of quite purpley pastels?
Yeah, I mean the problem is if you look at his actual costumes, I ain't painting that. That's not happening.
No, they tend to be ridiculous patterns, don't they?
But this has very much. It's got quite you're not going to be able to see it on the raised. Yes, but Nadim said pineapples. Yes, there are pineapples. You're not going to be able to see them, but there are raised pineapples similar to yours on here. So, well, they're pineapple-ish.
Could you perhaps do it with a wash?
Well, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to wash it in blue or green, and then dry brush gold.
Right, yeah.
So it's the base colour I'm looking for. I'm not sure what would suit him best.
Yeah, pastel. It's going to be pastel, whatever it is.
Yeah. We'll see. Hopefully he'll be allowed to sign himself.
Well, on that front, still unclear from the SAG strike as to what rules appear to apply. What's that, Christoph? You've been blocked on Facebook by Destination Star Trek. That's unusual.
Well, we do need to talk about that. I mean, there's been just radio silence, hasn't there? Presumably because they don't have any news. It's got to have an impact. But something from them would be nice. Like we're trying to make it happen. But I guess if they've got nothing to say, they've got nothing to say. So.
Well, I don't think there's been any new announcements of any kind, have there, so far? So we're, 1 month out now?
I mean, my secret inside source has told me that it's going to be going ahead, but there is some confusion over what guests are going to be able to attend. And that's as much as I know. That's all she told me. It seems this writer strike, they half of them seem to think they should be striking, half of them don't, half of them think they should be doing one thing. It doesn't seem typically well organised. It's a little bit like anything organised by the Labour Party in this country. It's sort of vacant and without any real unification. It's just,
Well, they did manage to win a by-election on Friday, but that may say more about who they won it from rather than them. But, let's be apolitical.
Yes, let's be.
Yeah. So in the comments, people, tell us if you are planning to go to Destination and what your plans are are you going full stop?
So, Christoph,
have you bought tickets?
I'd like to know, Christoph, exactly what did you get banned for? What was it? A particular asking something? Were you criticising something, or?
Oh.
Yeah, everything's quite vacant and vague on it, isn't it? So it's
Well, Armin Shimmerman had put on a post the other day in which he said, no, this won't stop conventions going ahead. And then he sort of almost immediately after put up another post saying, looks like I spoke too soon. I'm waiting on further guidance. So I haven't seen anything more from him. but it does seem a bit confused.
I mean, personally, I think, and this is just my reading of the situation, I think it's very unlikely we'll see any actors from current projects. But I think the legacy actors will be fine. And if I'm honest with you, that really is not a deal breaker for me. I prefer to see the legacy actors than with the current ones. So that's absolutely fine with me. I've not got an issue with that. So I'm looking forward to it regardless.
Well, I suppose we're just going to spend 4 days drunk as usual, aren't we?
You spend 4 days drunk. I spend 2 days drunk and 2 days in the gym, but I just balance it out.
Well, actually, on one occasion, you spent 2 days with food poisoning.
Oh yes, I remember that one. Yeah, that's what. Yeah, well, that. Yeah, don't go to the Weatherspoons at the NEC. Certainly don't have one of their dodgy pies.
Mm. Yeah. All right. Well,
Who's going? Adam's going. Adam, you put a post up on Facebook about your dolphin track badge. That is absolutely superb. You better bloody print it, paint it, and wear it at destination. I'd love to see that. It was really nice, mate. And we're happy to see you, Mark.
Well, Adam never brings anything less than his A game to the stuff that he makes.
And we're happy to see you too, Victoria. No, we're not talking about anything political. We're not.
No politics. Not here.
We're not a politically motivated show, unless we're making fun of the Labour Party. Mike, it'd be great to see you, Michael.
Now, hang on. He's put another comment. Where was it? That he was drinking green martinis. What's in the green martini? Is it cough medicine? He's
a smashing chap, Michael. He's very knowledgeable on his track.
Not known Mike since 1994.
4 days at the bar. Well, that's because James is a lawyer and he has deep pockets. The rest of us,
well, and a near indestructible liver. Yeah.
You'll see me at the reception just as you enter the Hilton at Birmingham with my guitar and a cap on the floor, trying to get some drinking money together.
Also, we have another plan, don't we?
I mean, yes. I would obviously keep in mind that the Hilton in Birmingham is one of the most expensive bars on the planet. So,
again, that's why you'll see me outside with my guitar and a cap on the floor. I've been learning several
nearby bars.
I've been learning several songs that I think will generate the most revenue for my bar money, like loads of busking hits. Basically, yes, I've learned all the Oasis songs.
I mean, it's I would say that the Hilton bar people haven't been before. It's more expensive than Central London prices. So
we still managed to drink them out of beer, though, didn't we?
Yes, we had to go down the pump saying, "Well, what have you got that's left?"
We worked our way through everything until we drunk it all.
Well, also we had our own supply, which helped.
That's okay. I'm sure that MI5 already have their eye on you. We don't need to know when you're coming and going from the country, Christoph. That's good.
Yeah. Well, give us some examples, Vicky. What are we looking at? So for gin and tonic, are we breaking the £10 mark?
If memory serves me correct from the last time we were at the Hilton, when we purchased not once, not twice, but thrice jugs of margaritas for the Trekkie girls, I believe they're still owed in lieu. So, not in the loo, but you mean
we've got some in the wood, as it were.
We got some in the wood with the Trekkie girls. That's what you're telling me.
Wow.
Have we both got some wood in the Trekkie girls, or just you?
No. Oh. Now, you know what you did? You upset them on Friday because of all the comments about our new feature. Shall we do some massive choppers?
Should we do a feature?
Yeah, let's.
Dan, would you like a feature?
we looking at this week, Richard?
Well, this week it's my turn. I'm afraid I'm not going to show you my massive chopper. But I'd love to talk about it.
All right.
And we're going to play a little bit of a game of Guess My Chopper because if anyone owned a Sega Mega Drive and played Operation Desert Strike, or had a Python,
I know what it is,
or had a Python joystick, then you'll know what I'm talking about. If Top Gun left you wanting more, and you walked to Blockbuster and saw that there was it wasn't a MiG, a Tomcat, but it was in fact a helicopter saying this is Top Gun with helicopters, then you know I'm talking about the Apache helicopter, still in service today.
The Apache AH-64.
Yeah, I mean, this served in Operation. Well, it made its name in Operation Desert Storm, but it's a fantastic helicopter. It's an iconic-looking helicopter. It's the one that pops up in Rambo 3 and got famous that way. It's a lovely chopper.
It's a pretty angular chopper, isn't it?
Very angular chopper.
Yeah. Very angry-looking.
Angry-looking, angular chopper. It is quite a big chopper. It's not as big as your chopper, James, but my chopper.
Mine's more a heavy lift chopper. Yours is more an angry attack helicopter.
Mine's an aggressive chopper. Mine's definitely get in there and do the job kind of chopper, whereas yours sort of waits at the back.
You got any stats on it?
I've got no stat. Well, I have. I wanted to talk more about the nostalgia of my chopper because back in the early 90s, I must have spent hours in front of the TV gripping my Python, guiding my chopper around, playing Operation Desert Strike, which honestly, there's nothing more satisfying than guiding your chopper about whilst gripping your Python. It felt like a real helicopter joystick. It was fantastic. And if any of you've played the game, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And it was marvellous.
Oh, that's good to hear. Well, that's a fabulous chopper you've chosen. I thoroughly enjoyed that.
Yeah. That concludes my this week's James and Richard's massive choppers.
Right, back to talking about Star Trek. Let's have a look at the comments.
Remortgage, that's got nothing to do with... Oh, hang on a minute.
We're talking about the cost of the bar here. No way.
Oh, Carl.
It's real Carl.
You've just missed our new segment.
Oh, what was it?
Do you want to see the sting and take a guess? Yeah. This week we did the Apache helicopter. Last week we did what was it you did? It was a big Russian one.
Il-26 Halo.
Yeah. 20,000 kilograms lift load on that bad boy.
If you want to go big, go Soviet.
Yeah.
How are you, Carl? What have you been up to?
Well, lots of not doing this, unfortunately. Lots of work, lots and lots of work. But yes, happy to be here. Very, very happy to be here.
It's marvellous to see you, Carl. We've tried to avoid talking about Star Trek as much as possible, but I do have something rather special this week for you. It's very special, in fact. So let me just find the correct sting. Don't worry, you don't have to find anything.
Oh, it's good to see that again, isn't it? What's he got here? Oh, I know what this is. Be careful, don't break it.
I'm going to make Richard big. Ooh.
I love unboxing videos, don't you?
Oh, I have a suspicion. Ooh.
Look at that.
Oh, what a lovely thing. Oh, yes.
Is it
Excellent.
dishwasher safe? Just out of interest. Or is it more a display item?
It does. Some of the stuff on the box I find is absolutely brilliant. So it's just quickly, it is rather splendid. I have to.
It's gorgeous. Look at that.
Yes.
So
Lovely.
on the box, we've got, it says on the back, it's marvellous. It says, well, I'll read it out. This is not a toy. This is not a toy. It fucking isn't.
No user serviceable person guide.
This is a collectible intended for persons 18 years and older only.
What, people under 18 can't drink tea?
Hand wash
Not
only.
from that cup.
Hand wash only, don't microwave. So, who wants to hear the story about the cup?
Oh,
Tell us the story.
Family barbecue, very busy. And I've ordered my son a new goalkeeper shirt. And it says on Amazon, like it's 8 stops away. Knock at the door, parcel. Oh, Charles, that's for you. Great. Go into the kitchen to find the box torn open. And him making a cup of tea. I was like,
But Richard, he's under 18. The police could have come for you and everything.
it's not a toy.
What's a cup of tea for you?
You know, the teaspoon going clink, 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 clink.
Oh my!
It was. I couldn't be angry at him, but
Well, that's a lovely piece, and that's it. They're no longer available, are they, Richard? You've got in while they were.
yeah,
available.
they someone an insider put me onto them and said, look, buy 10 of these if you can afford them because you'll make a. They're already going. I mean, they weren't cheap, but they're already going on eBay for a lot more than what I paid for them. Yeah. So grab yourself. Well, you can't grab yourself one now. So tough.
You have to go around and steal Richard's.
Yeah. There we are.
Richard, I think I'm going to build you one of those coffee tables like on the Excelsior, just so you can have it in front of you.
Oh, I've been looking at them. What do they call those little short videos?
TikToks?
Yeah. Well, they do the resin, the epoxy resin tables.
Mm.
I think you could, if you got someone to make you one of them just with like the Star Trek, like with the Star Trek badge or logo embedded into it, it would not look out of place on any Starship Ready room. They look gorgeous, some of those. That'd be a lovely little project. If anyone wants to get good at doing resin and wants to make me a table, I've looked into doing it. It looks really not the sort of thing I'd be good at. So,
when we designed the Rikers Beard Bridge, part of the original spec was a table that would go down into the floor during a red alert situation, but otherwise was intended for beer.
Also, if there was a red alert situation, the table would disappear and it would
the table with your drinks would disappear to keep them safe and out of the way.
It would become like a hot tub.
No, it wouldn't become like a hot tub. It would disappear and become the floor.
How would a floor help in an emergency? A hot tub would be in an emergency. A hot tub would keep you calm and focused. A floor.
Fire up the hot tub.
What could you do on the floor if there's an emergency? What would you? Everyone, quick on the floor! We're already on the floor. Oh, look, there's more floor.
A starship being hermetically sealed, it'd be relatively easy just to flood the bridge to about 4 feet deep and then and bubble it up.
Yeah, you've got to make sure everyone has a quick shower first, though, before they get in your tub. Yeah,
that's the problem. Maybe might have sonic showers in the future. Do you think they have sonic hot tubs?
More importantly, is there sonic toilet paper?
No, it's 3 shells.
3 seashells, yeah.
3 shells. Can't believe Dan doesn't know about 3 shells.
Do you not know about the 3 seashells, Dan?
Here's an interesting fact for you. Do you know that 78% of the world's population don't use toilet paper? Genuinely, 78% of the world's population don't use toilet paper.
What do they use?
Soap and water. I just use soap and water. Seriously, I'm not sure. Soap and water. If you think about it, it's a lot more hygienic.
So our new feature is apparently wipe or wash. Excellent.
Yeah,
let's play the thing for that now.
Wipe or wash. Who's going to come up with the sting for that next week?
Does this mean that statistically speaking, in a destination, let's say at the convention, let's say there's 3,000 people. 78% of that is what? I don't know, 2,200 people roughly?
About 3/4 roughly. So
yeah. 2,300 people there don't use toilet paper.
Well, no, globally.
Yeah, but
if you're working on average,
what's the intersection between these people and people who attend a Star Trek convention?
My favourite stat ever was the chap in the 90s that proved there was more nutrition if you ate a toilet roll than if you ate a pot noodle. So, so as long as you stockpile enough toilet rolls. You know.
That's like Morgan Spurlock, who did that McDonald's documentary.
Yeah, so there we are.
There we have it. Shall we go on to another feature?
Have we got any other features?
I've missed features. Bring on a feature.
Oh, James, you sent a clip saying, could someone upload this Wish clip? And you never sent the clip.
Oh, man.
So we've not got that.
All right.
Well, James, if you have the link, just pop it into the chat and we can just share the YouTube screen onto here.
Okay, hang on. See if I can find it. Talk amongst yourselves while I look.
All right, well, while we're waiting for that, let's have a quick word from our sponsor.
Yeah.
Question.
Damn it.
No.
Have you found it yet?
I found it. Hang on, I'm trying to get the link.
Let's have just another quick word from our sponsor.
Beneres, nekopfeto, tipo magico, te garden gizmo. O te diaken di funzioni moronico. Te facilos action pumpo. Zo, ne shopping, mia coro, te garden gizmo.
Oh, garden gizmo.
And now?
Please tell us you have the link, James. Please.
I sent it to you. It's in the private chat.
Do we need another word from our sponsor?
No.
Hang on. Wait. I'm trying to save us from it.
I've got more. There's.
That's what I'm afraid of. I don't want the advert.
You're not rushing out to buy a garden gizmo? What's wrong with you?
Right. I may have it. Let me see. See if I can remember how to do this.
No, you gamed them, Martin.
Here we go. I think I'm on it. All right, let's try this.
Keratosis. Symptom: persistent, itchy, flaky scalp. Solution: Neutrogena T-Gel. It works. Neutrogena T-Gel shampoo. Recommended #1 by dermatologists.
Right. It is the only honourable anti-dandruff shampoo.
Well, there we are.
Was that Michael Dawn promoting T-Gel shop? Right. Okay.
Well, let's see Alan Window's got to say about this?
Oh, Dan, you'll enjoy this. I was discussing last night in the bar about my package of 25 An Evening with John Barrowman DVDs that I never received. And how whichever bastard in the post office who stole the package only to open it and found 25 copies of An Evening with John Barrowman, presumably at best, managed to sell them to CEX for 25p.
Hey, the guy made £6.50.
Just over for a laugh, I went onto the CEX website and went to see if I could order any copies, and it wouldn't allow me to order more than 2 at once.
I wonder why that.
Why would you want to?
Apparently, that's the policy with CEX.
I reckon
Specifically on Barrowman DVDs.
That policy was probably introduced as an anti-terror contingency. Stop
Possibly
that.
as a result of Dan ordering 25 copies of this DVD before.
Because I had an interest, because I ordered a load of isopropylene alcohol for my painting. Like they wouldn't let. Well, I did order it more than I should have done, and they did send me these. We've got to ask what it's for, under you might use it for something dangerous. So perhaps they thought if you unleashed that much Barrowman in one go, it could take out a whole town or something. So
Not wrong.
Yeah, he only allowed 2 lots of Barrowman.
Too much fabulous at once. Is that what they're saying?
Fabulous is not a word I would use to describe Barrowman. I do generally. I quite enjoy him in Doctor Who.
Do you?
I do. I think he plays a good role. He's a good sport in Doctor Who.
I suppose one advantage of his character is you get to see him killed repeatedly.
I didn't like him in Arrow. He just wasn't. I don't know.
Wasn't quite menacing enough in Arrow for the character.
Yeah, he's not bad enough to be a baddie, if that makes sense.
You were able to believe that he would stab you in the back as many times as he did for the characters that he turned around against, but didn't really come across as menacing enough.
No, he didn't. The Arrowverse is officially that's done now. The last episode of The Flash aired a couple of weeks ago, which is quite sad, really. I enjoyed the CW Arrowverse, but there we are. That's all done with. Have you all seen The Flash yet?
No,
not yet.
It's really good. Yeah,
I'm looking forward to watching it.
Well, it's not. I mean, the film's okay, but they did Michael Keaton's Batman. It wasn't just it was good. They did it well. It wasn't just a throw in. It was good. Highly
Best
recommend.
Batman bar possibly only West.
I mean, it's a Let's Talk Trek show, so let's try and segue into. If you could have any Batman actor as Captain of the Enterprise, what Batman actor would you go for?
Oh, West.
Adam West as Captain of the Enterprise.
Yeah.
In which era? TOS, presumably.
Oh, TOS, yeah. Campy 60s. Yeah.
So who would you have at Golden Era? Who would you have Captain of the Enterprise?
Bale.
Bale, okay. A Nolan-esque Batman.
What about Clooney?
I was going to say I'd probably go for Val Kilmer.
Val Kilmer.
As Captain of the Enterprise.
Presumably you mean sort of 90s Val Kilmer.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, George Clooney would be quite good, like in Prodigy or something like that. He does.
In fact,
he does.
Think about it. Val
No
Kilmer would
spoilers.
probably make a better Riker than he would a captain.
No spoilers. Clooney does make a cameo in the new Flash film, and it's great. It's really good.
Nipples that we can see.
Yeah, you can't see his nipples, I'm afraid, but it is good. Christoph's got some news that I was planning on sharing, but I'd forgotten about. Yeah.
Ah.
Be right back.
Futurama. So yeah, that's great. That got cancelled years ago and then brought back, and just
Then got
carried on
cancelled again.
in the same vein, doesn't it?
Yeah, they did sort of. It was for me. They brought back a lot of specials that were too long, and it lost its kind of charm a little bit. But Futurama's great watching, and the Orville. I really hope they make more Orville. That really is just absolute class. It's superb television. It's not this thing when you talk about Star Trek, and you have to try and get people to understand. It's not just good sci-fi. It's really good television. Do you know what I mean? It's not. It actually does transcend the sci-fi genre. That's why it's so popular. It's not brilliant because it's sci-fi. It's brilliant because it's just great television, such good stories, such good actors. Not because it's sci-fi. In fact, in many of the greatest episodes of, especially the Next Generation, you could transfer the plot, the characters, pretty much everything about it onto a show that's not sci-fi, and I think that's what's wonderful about it. But there we are. Not like Martin. Thanks for watching.
Bye.
Well,
Sorry, what?
Where's my Let's Talk Trek mug?
I'm over here.
We don't have Let's Talk Trek mug, do we?
Oh, I've just realised my cat's not waving.
we should do a Let's Talk Trek teapot, like Countdown does.
The shit prizes you're playing for on Cats 2 Countdown.
It's mine's the only defective cat, isn't it?
I've only got a miniature cat. My children broke my main cat. Do you remember we went into that Chinese in London after Destination 2021, and they had a 3 foot tall
The
waving
size of the pussy in that Chinese was incredible. Honestly, I've never seen a pussy that big. All shiny and chrome.
Do you boys recall when I paid a visit to Tesco, and I believe I sent you this particular video when I encountered a plethora of waving golden cats. It was like finding the Holy Grail.
They're solar powered. How many did you get?
I didn't. I couldn't. I was overwhelmed.
£3 each. Oh.
That's a bit pricey.
Well, with a club card, that might have been down to £2.50. Yes.
We've covered a lot of Star Trek this evening, but I'd like to cover just a little bit more if you can bear with me. As you know, I've been watching Voyager with the kids and I've been enjoying it. That's why I've got my my fantastic Neelix model here, which is almost finished, which I'm going to get signed by Ethan Phillips for my daughter because she's a big fan of Voyager and really likes it. Do you know, I'm loving rewatching Voyager with the kids, but in the later episodes, it does feel a lot like some of the cut, like Roxanne Dawson and what's Harry Kim's Henry? I want to say Henry. Harry Kim's actor that plays him.
Garrett Wang.
Garrett Wang. Definitely not Henry. Garrett Wang. They get given episodes. Like I've just watched Barge of the Dead. It's utter cag. It's like it's like have I been transported back in time to season 2 of Voyager? Because that is utter garbage they've just shoveled up. And I'm bringing that up not to be mean about it, but the latest Strange, not the one that was dropped by surprise, but episode 6 of Strange New Worlds, it wasn't good at all. I enjoyed it, yeah, but compared to the standard that's been set by Strange New Worlds, it was nowhere near. So I think what I'm trying to say is, even the naysayers who go, "Oh, back in the golden age, every episode was brilliant," it really wasn't. They really did serve up some utter garbage on Voyager in some of the, not just the early ones, in some of the later ones. They were
clangers in all of them, isn't there?
There's yeah, that's exactly it. There's clangers in all of them. So, I mean, obviously we can leave Discovery out of this conversation, but with Strange New Worlds, yeah, you're not going to absolutely love every episode every week, but it's still a great series. And I mean, as a series, I'm still enjoying it. It's fantastic. Yeah, Barge of the Dead. God. They made an entire, well, it was almost a season, but they made a massive story and plot line in Star Trek Online about Barge of the Dead. I was like, really, I'm going to play. It was actually quite good. But the fact they decided to do a thing on it was just like, oh, really? Barge of the Dead? Oh. But hey, there we go.
Funny enough, I saw that one the other day. It just happened to be on TV when I was trying to get the boy to sleep.
Did it send him to sleep?
No, put me to sleep.
I mean, what I enjoyed about that episode,
either way.
I quite enjoyed the perm that Roxanne Dawson was sporting.
Really?
Yeah. It's nothing more I can add to that. I mean, it was good when the episode sort of finished. I was waiting.
They delivered us more than second-rate entertainment. Third-rate entertainment.
Yeah, but that was what this week's Strange New Worlds felt like to me. I'm not meaning this to be mean, but I was waiting for it to either to start or to finish. Do one of the two, because we're half an hour in, and neither has happened. So when you're half hour into an episode and you want it either to start or to finish, you're kind of just, where are we going here? You've had enough. And sadly, the actress playing Uhura is just not. She's likable, but she's not good enough to be a episode lead on her own, I'm afraid.
Well, don't forget it's junior Uhura, isn't it?
Mm.
This is not the fully formed Uhura.
Also, she's trying to act badly. She does a good job of that, then, James. If that's your theory, well done.
All right, okay.
But that's the thing, she doesn't act badly. It's just when you're in with so many good actors. I mean, God, how many DS9 episodes? Where you've got Miles O'Brien going off having an episode all to himself. Colm Meaney's such a great actor, and then you've got poor old Alexander Siddig who gets an episode. He just, he's great when he's on screen with Colm Meaney, but on his own, he just doesn't carry it off. He can't. He's just not a good enough actor. He's great, but he's a side actor. He's not a main actor. That's the difference. Well, I'm not an executive producer of CBS Paramount Entertainment, so I probably don't know. Yeah, I love her too. I think she's great. She's a very likable side character. She's just not strong enough to be a lead. That's the issue I have.
But then if she wasn't given that opportunity, we'd all complain that they're not developing the characters.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's. It seems quite obvious in Strange New Worlds this season, that they've been very much pushing the side characters, and some have really delivered.
Mm.
Some haven't. You kind of. I mean, I always roll back to Neelix because he's not a well-liked character, and he was a bungling buffoon for much of the first couple of seasons of Voyager, and then they actually realised, you know what? Well, they realised, or perhaps already knew, he's a good enough actor, he can do more. So they decided to put a lot of contrast to him, having as a PTSD suffer and things like that, and really branch out on the actor's acting to make and flesh out that character, which he was able to do, and Jennifer Lien wasn't. That's why she was dropped. So yeah, I guess you have to give the actress that's playing her a chance. Maybe that's, you know, you got to give her a chance. But for me, I'm afraid she has not succeeded. She's a side character. That's all she'll be. But maybe I'll be proved wrong. I'm not normally wrong. People don't like people who aren't wrong. I say she'll succeed.
Well, don't forget, Strange New Worlds is only in season 2, and we've only had, well, effectively the equivalent of one season of Golden Age Trek, because they're only like 10-episode seasons. So they haven't really had a lot of time to form their cadre and their show.
Well, you say that, Linda, but
it's bang on point. Look, there you go.
Yeah.
But, and she isn't, because I always draw people back to the amount they used to be able to squeeze into 42 to 45 minutes back in the day. They get a full hour now. They can run over, they can go short. You know, they aim for roughly about an hour. So you're getting 20%
quite
time.
variable. You're right, Richard. I've noticed that at the run times.
So they get, on average, 20% more time per episode than back in the golden era. So you could argue, actually, it's easier to develop characters, backstories and stuff like that and put that into the show. But there we are. We come back to, again, what I've said before. Always seems to me a massive difference between reactive writing and writing every week to shooting it all in one go. No, you're not able to do reshoots. That's it. The series is wrapped before the public has seen it. I'm still not convinced that's a good way of doing it, but it's how we do it these days. So,
Indeedy.
Well, I've talked about all the Trek I can talk about this week because you guys haven't seen it, so I can't go into any more depth about the Strange New Worlds episode 6 than I already have done. So unless you guys have anything more to add?
Well,
I didn't even know I was going to make it on here, so...
How lovely it is for all 4 of us to be here together again.
Well,
who's the guy in the bottom next here? Look, him. Who's he?
Mark Cotton.
Oh, that's Mark. That's right. Yeah.
Mark.
Hello.
It looks like my friend Carl, but my friend Carl dresses in chef whites, so it can't be my friend Carl.
I am an imposter.
Well, yes, we look forward to next week to talking about the Lower Decks crossover episode, mainly because I really don't like Lower Decks, so I'm really looking forward to seeing it because everyone's raving about it, saying it's brilliant. So I'm looking forward to watching it. Yeah.
I think you can. I'll phrase it thus: the Lower Decks characters serve as a mirror for the Strange New Worlds characters.
Could you say that again with a South African accent, please, James?
The Strange New World. No, I can't.
I'd like to talk about Lower Decks. I love Lower Decks. But for now, look after yourselves and each other.
Oh, Twiddle Pip. Don't have nightmares.